This conference will now be recorded.
Okay, so in the last class we discussed about test plan preparation, right? So
Yeah.
test plan nothing but approach. What are the approach we are following to test the particular application, right? So it is comes under STLC, right? What is mean by STLC? Software testing lifecycle.
Exactly.
So under software testing lifecycle, we have it again different phases like SDLC,
Yeah.
right? So in under STLC we have a phases like requirement understanding phase and test plan preparation, and then we have a test case preparation, test case execution, result analysis, and bug reporting, right? So requirement understanding. So what is mean by requirement? So the use case, but the requirement of a client.
Client, yeah.
Who will give you this requirement?
Clients.
Client will give you requirement to BA, right? Based on
Yeah.
client requirements, BA gives some suggestions and he will prepare one document called BRS document. That whenever he prepared the BRS document, the document will shared by BA to the entire team regarding to particular to the project, the people who are having involving in that particular project.
Yeah.
Whether it may be developers, testers, BA, Scrum Master, anyone, right? So based on the BIS document, based on the BIS document only, developers going to develop the application, tester going to test the application.
Yeah.
Clear? And
Yeah.
then the test the plan preparation.
Okay.
So nothing but approach. So how the project, what is the length of the project, and or else what is the duration of that particular project,
Yeah.
and the testing resources, and what are the tools to take this to execute these test cases to raise the bug, right? And what is the criteria, what is the scope, right? So what do you mean by criteria? Criteria, it tells about so when we have to start a testing and when we have to stop the testing.
Yeah.
We have a like entry criteria and exit criteria. Entry criteria in the sense when we have to start testing, there are a particular points to consider before starting a testing,
Yeah.
right? And again we have some points to verify by the time of stopping your testing.
Yeah.
And then scope.
Exactly.
Scope nothing but so where where you have to concentrate,
Okay.
that is considered in scope.
Yeah.
Where you can neglect the functionality, that is
Also.
comes under out scope. Okay. And what is the release notes? Release note nothing but it is a release level notes given by a developer to that particular module or functionality.
Okay.
Okay. So it's briefly give you the what the developers developed in this particular module, and along with release notes. So you get to know, right, what is the release notes?
Yeah.
Yeah, along with the release note, and people developer may give you known issues.
Okay.
Known issues in the sense, so for
Yeah.
these issues you don't need to raise a bug. Already the people or development team know these particular issues.
Yeah.
At what point of time they give you known issues? Let's consider this is an Amazon application. This is Amazon application. See, so whenever you launch application, and in first module, the people implemented like search functionality and card functionality, login functionality.
Yeah.
So let's say on overflow, the people are given spelling like AMAZON, not AMAZON. They given like AMAZAN. That's a spelling mistake.
Okay. Yeah.
Again, that is an issue. But people are already know it,
Amazon.
and right now they are not interested to fix that particular bug because it is not impacting my functionality. It is just a spelling mistake, and they can do at any point of time. Right now they are busy with functional implementation.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Like.
at the time the people will give you a known issues along with your release notes.
Okay.
Clear? And you don't need to concentrate on known issues. You don't need to test that particular issue. No need to raise a bug regarding to that particular known issues. They'll give you a list of points. So boss, this is the release, this is the release node, this is a build, these are the functionality we are implemented as a part of this module, as part of this sprint, as part of this week.
Yeah.
Okay, the release notes contain all these things.
Okay.
And these are the known issues.
Okay.
And sometimes you can ask pending also, pending requirements.
Okay.
People also give this requirement, give this notes regarding to requirement. Let's consider there are two requirements in this particular module they have to implement, but somehow they are unable to implement second requirement. They have implement only first requirement. What you may consider, if they don't share the pending requirement, if you don't share this one, so you may consider the people are implemented two functionality. I have to test for two functionalities. Yes or no?
Yeah.
If you don't get this point, so you may test two requirement and you may execute the test cases which are related to these two requirements.
Okay.
Let's consider, so you have written test cases for requirement 1 500 test cases, requirement 2 500 test cases.
Okay.
Requirement 1 you are having 500 test cases, again requirement 2, so you have a 500 test cases. If you don't know the people are implemented only one functionality, you have to execute how many test cases?
1,000 total.
1000 test cases, right? So by the time of starting, you have to verify the release notes each and every point.
Yeah.
So if you neglect this point, obviously you will spend a lot of time. Unnecessarily, you will execute 500 test cases and you will raise a bugs to regarding to this 500 test cases.
Yeah.
That is not their mistake, that is your mistake.
Okay.
Clear? And before starting testing, carefully you have to read your release notes given by a developer.
Yeah.
Okay, so who will give you these release notes?
Developer.
Exactly. So by the time of giving build, the developer will give you release notes. The release notes typically contain
Test
release
cases.
note, no, sorry.
Okay.
Test cases. We are writing the test cases. They don't give you test cases.
Okay. Okay.
Okay.
Requirements.
They'll give you, first one is known issues.
Okay.
So what are the known issues in this particular module, right? And they give you any pending functionalities or any pending requirements.
Okay.
These two things you have to consider on release notes.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah, clear.
And come to test case preparation. Who will prepare the test cases?
Testers.
Testers only. Nothing but we have to prepare our test cases by understanding requirement.
Yes.
Okay. So understand the requirement. First one is understand client requirement,
Okay.
right? And then, and every organization they're having one their own template. So generally, what our template contains, already we prepared some test cases, right? So
Yeah.
what is our test case template?
Test case ID,
Requirement ID, test case ID, precondition, description, test data,
actual
actual result,
Result.
expected result.
Active result.
result.
There, these are the template. This is the template we are following as of now. So remember, organization to organization, test template will going to change,
Yeah. Okay.
and application to application, this is also done. The some more columns may add, few columns may delete. Here,
Okay.
generally, this is 90%. This is the main template. This is the main columns to follow. Okay, so by the time of test case preparation, so you have to carefully read the client requirement, and if the organization containing any template, just follow the template. If that organization doesn't having any template, just prepare your own template.
Okay.
Right? So write test cases based on template.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
And then test case execution. When will you execute your test cases? Whenever you receive the bill, whenever you receive the bill, you have to open your test cases and execute your test cases one by one.
Okay.
Okay? By the time of execution, compare expected result, actual result. If expected result and actual result matching, then you have to say your test case is pass. If your expected result not actual result not matching, then you have to say your test case fail. Clear?
Yeah, clear.
After that, we have one more phase called result analysis.
Okay.
So whenever your test case fails, whenever your test case pass, altogether you have to analyze your report on your entire the test cases, entire the functionality. Let's say you have executed 500 test cases. So
Okay.
you have to give a report like this. So total you have a 500 test cases.
Okay.
Okay. For these 500 test cases, how many pass? Number of pass. And then
How
how
many?
many fail? Right? And number of fails. Right? So if number of fails, so these number of fails, let's consider, so there are 10 test cases fails.
Yeah.
Out of 100, 10 test cases fail. So for these 10 test cases, number of bugs, how many number of bugs you have
Okay.
raised?
Yeah.
It's again, there is no constant number. Remember, test cases there is no constant number of pass there is no constant number of failures there is no constant number, and number of bugs also there is no constant number.
Okay.
Sometimes for one bug you have to execute 500 test cases.
Yeah.
Sometimes for 500 bugs you can execute only one test case.
Okay.
Okay, this is all depending upon the functionality. This is all depends upon your application type.
Okay.
Here, and you have to give overview like this. You have to give overall result like this. How many test cases you have executed for this build? How many number of test cases pass? How many number of test cases fail? How many number of bugs you are raising?
Yeah.
And then, if the let's consider number of bugs are 5. For
Yeah.
these 5 bugs, you have to give reporting to your developer
Okay.
by following some steps here. Again, we'll discuss tomorrow how to raise a bug, how to report a bug, and how to retest the particular test case. Right? So again, there are a few steps to report a bug to developer.
Okay.
As of now, let's consider you have tested you have executed 500 test case on top of released build, and on the 500 test cases, 490 pass, 10 test cases fail. You have raised 5 bugs.
Okay.
Okay, so when will you raise a bug? Whenever your requirement, whenever your expected result and actual result is not matching, you have to raise a bug.
Yeah.
Based on your report, based on your bug raising, developer may going to either he may close the bug,
Okay.
sorry, he may resolve bug, and again you have to retest it.
Okay.
Okay, what is mean by retesting?
Uh,
Executing failure test cases on received build or new build. Okay, again you have to do retesting. Who will do retest?
Testers.
Testers, right? So if at the time of retesting, again your expected result and actual result are matching, you have to close the bug.
Okay.
Again, if it is reproducing, again you have to reopen the bug.
Okay.
Until unless the bug is closing, you have to reopen and retest it.
Okay.
Okay, who will close the bug?
Tester.
Exactly, testers only closing the bug.
Yeah.
Okay, who will open the bug?
Testers.
Developer.
Open in the sense, open inside developer accepting the bug.
Okay.
We'll discuss it later. Tomorrow we'll discuss. Developer open the bug, tester has to close the bug.
Okay.
Okay, and here let's consider few points. Let's discuss in deep. So when we have to start a testing,
Okay.
any idea? Just generally, by understanding these points, by understanding SDLC and STLC, right? So
Developers
what?
develop the product after they are testing.
Okay, good, very good, valid point. So after the development, we are going to test.
Yeah.
Okay, and anything else?
Nothing.
Jyoti?
After
Okay,
getting
cool.
the requirement,
Okay, okay. After getting requirement, okay. So no issues, cool. See, so already we discussed, right? Any organization, there will be a majorly three environments,
Yeah.
right? So developer environment,
QA environment.
developer environment, QA environment,
when
and delivery and maintenance.
Okay.
I think the production environment, let's say, as of I'm giving delivery and maintenance. Okay, these are the three environments. Application go through like this. Okay, see, the first one is, so by the time of starting your testing, so let's consider, see, the points you have to consider here. First one is developers done unit testing or not. What is mean by unit testing?
Piece of code we are testing. Like,
Very good, very good. Piece of code verified by developer. See, by the time of implementation, developer implement the code. So after implementation, developer has to verify whether the piece of code working fine or not.
yeah.
Okay, the piece of code is testing by writing some test cases by using some automation, sorry, unit testing frameworks like TestNG, JUnit, right? So, but before starting testing, you have to verify whether the developer done unit testing or not.
Okay. Yeah.
So mostly they don't do, but this is a formal way. The majority of the companies so follow this way. First of all, developer do the testing. Then again they'll give it to testers,
Okay.
right? And these are the testers. These are the testers understanding. Then these are the testers need to do. First of all, verify whether the developer done unit test or not.
Yeah.
And second one, so understand the requirement. Again,
Okay.
this is very very important. That's why I'm stressing this one. So first of all, you have to understand what is the client mind, what is the client want to do this application, what is the client requirement. Okay, first of all you have to carefully understand the requirement. Without understanding requirement, don't go for a testing.
Okay.
Okay, and then third one is, so QA environment is ready.
Okay.
See, so the application may maintain in these three environments. See, this is one URL maintaining in separate server.
Okay.
This is one URL maintaining in separate server. This is one URL maintaining in separate server. So you have to test in which environment?
Testing.
QA environment.
Okay.
Okay. So before starting testing, so whenever you get a mail, before starting testing, you have to verify whether the application is available in your environment or not.
Okay.
Okay. Nothing but the build, the developer build should be available in your QA environment. Or else I can say like this: QA environment is ready. Sorry, excuse me. You have to verify whether this environment QA environment is ready, and then the one more thing you have to consider: the application is available or build available in QA environment. Clear? These are the points to consider before the starting testing. The entry criteria are nothing but it will give you when you have to start testing. Before starting testing, these are the points you have to verify whether developer done the unit testing or not, and you have to understand the requirement, client requirement, and QA environment should be ready before starting testing. QA environment should be ready, like servers and systems, right? QA people and test case preparation. And then build should be available in QA environment.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah, clear.
As of now, any doubts,
No doubts.
Jyoti?
Okay.
Okay, then so exit criteria in the sense when we have to stop testing, the points to consider before stopping testing.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah.
See, so you have to verify the following this point. So all your 100% test cases should be executed.
Okay.
You have to execute all test cases on that module. Clear?
Yeah.
And let's consider one more point. All test cases, I can say all 100% test cases should pass. Then you can stop testing.
Okay.
At least you have to consider all high level high level functionalities working fine.
Yeah.
Sometimes you may don't have a time to execute all test cases. Let's say the people are given Friday afternoon.
Okay.
Friday end of the day you have to deliver to the application. At that time you have to verify whether the all high level functionality is working fine or not. They'll give you they'll give you the approach. See, we have this off day time, so now we are approaching uh, testing all high level functionalities only rather than going for entire testing.
Okay.
At that time, so you have to execute high level test cases, nothing but you have to do your smoke testing.
Okay.
If your high level test cases is not pass, if your high level functionality is not passing, there is no release. You can say, my high level functionality, this application high level functionality is not working, hence I am rejecting the build.
Okay.
Testing team have a rights to reject the build.
Yeah.
Testing team have a right to stop the build, stop the release also.
Okay.
Okay. See, so if the application is containing, if the application has this like login and card functionality, if such functionality, if the login functionality is not working, then what is the point of release here? Yes or no?
Yeah.
Okay. So by the time of testing, if they are hurry burry to release a module, release the application. So at the end point of time, the tester has to take the responsibility. Altogether, the quality responsibility only depends upon tester only.
Okay.
And at the point of time, if the high level functionality is not working, simply you can reject the build, simply you can stop the release.
Okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
And one more thing, application or module is meeting. Application should meet client requirement. These are the points you have to consider, and you have to verify whether this module, so the requirements implemented as part of this module, the module is reaching as client expectation. Let's consider in this module, so in this particular module, client requirement is he has to show card functionality.
Okay.
So in this particular module, the card functionality, you're not able to see this one. This is not able to working as part of this module. Again, you can simply reject. Boss, this is the client requirement. This is your plan. This is a plan for this module. So you
Yeah.
have to prepare. You have to develop the module for card functionality as part of this module, as part of this week, as part of this sprint. So nowhere I'm seeing this card functionality, or else I can able to see, but it is not at all working as expected. Hence, I am rejecting the module. Okay, if it is working fine, then you can simply approve for release. Clear?
Clear.
Entry criteria. Entry criteria will tell you when we have to start testing. Exit criteria will tell you when we have to stop testing.
Testing.
Right? Scope will give you where you have to concentrate, and again we have in scope and out scope. In scope nothing but what to test, out scope in the sense what not to test. Okay.
Yeah.
Release notes given by a developer based on your module to module.
Okay.
Release notes typically contain known fixtures and pending requirement.
Yeah.
Who will give you release notes? Developer will give you release notes. And one of the phase in under STLC is test case preparation. Already we know, right, how to prepare test cases.
Yeah.
So basically we will maintain a template. On the template we are preparing our test cases.
Okay.
And test case execution. Whenever the build is received, you have to execute your test cases one by one by opening your template. Already
Okay.
you will write some test case, right? You have to execute one by one. By the time of execution, you have to compare expected result and actual result. If your expected result and actual result are meeting, your test case pass. If
Yeah.
your expected result or not, actual result or not matching, you have to say test case fail, and you have to give a root cause to the particular test case fail.
Yeah.
Okay, bug reporting. If it is not matching expected result or actual result, you have to give your bug with a reproducible steps here. So there's one more important here, reproducible steps.
Okay.
So what are the reproducible steps here? See, let's consider. So if you're adding a product to cart, let's say I'm adding a product to cart here. Let me. Say this is the one product. I'm trying to add a cart to product. See, add to cart. Now, cart has to show the numbers.
Okay.
How many products have cart? Okay.
Mm.
Let's consider this product added to cart $34.
Okay.
See, by the time of executing this test case, now your cart not showing the numbers. Let's consider this is showing 0.
Yeah.
Hence you have to raise a bug. So by the time of raising bug, you have to give a reproducible steps to your developer. That is the help to navigate. That will help to sort out the issue. Right. So what are the reproducible steps? Nothing but your test case details and steps you have followed and data you have entered and expected result and actual result.
Is it?
Already you have a test case details, right? And you have to give the details like just open URL or else launch application. Let's consider first point. Excuse me. Launch application, right? And enter URL. These are also will have in test steps, right?
Yeah.
And here the important one is the data. What the data you are providing, that is also play major role here. Sometimes your login is different, developer login is different.
Okay.
Okay, so and enter URL, you have to give a login with user credentials, username. What is your username? So username like tester
Yeah.
tester 001, and password is 123, like this you have to give, and add product to cart.
Mm.
And just give your expected result and actual result. So my expected result and actual result are not matching, hence I am raising bug. What is your expected result? Just give expected result. What is the actual result? Just give actual result. Okay, these are we are calling as reproducible steps, bug reproducible steps.
Okay.
Again, developer has to reproduce this bug in his environment. He's trying to reproduce bug in his environment, developer environment. You are raising bug in your environment. Developer is trying to raise bug in developer environment.
Okay.
Clear?
Yeah, clear.
That's what about STLC.
Okay.
Okay. Tomorrow we'll discuss about BLC, bug life cycle. Again, for a bug also, from from rising a bug, from open the bug from till the close to the bug. So again, we have a certain life cycle for a bug.
Okay.
So we'll discuss what is a bug, what is a bug life cycle, reproduce bug, how will you raise a bug, how will the developer going to fix the bug, right? So tomorrow we'll discuss all these things.
Okay.
Clear? So
Yeah,
please
clear.
let me know if you have any doubts as of now.
Yeah. No doubts.